the next video we're going to do is Candace Owens. Candace Owens. She made a video the other day, and she tried to make a joke about how Australia has lots of lockdowns, and we, the American people and the military, should invade Australia and free them from their bonds of tyranny. It seemed like a joke. Everyone was like, ha, why do you want us to invade Australia? And then she got fucking mad, dude. She got mad. In fact, let me see if I can find her tweet on that instead of just... I don't know. I responded the other day. She was super fucking mad. She was like yelling at people. Like, I can't believe somebody would say that it was a joke. It was clearly a joke. That was weird stuff. Let me find it on the Twitter, just real quick, because yeah, this right here. Jesus Christ. So here's her being mad. We got more Candace Owens, but here's her being mad about this, real quick. Here.
She thinks that you should invade Australia. She is suggesting that we should buckle up and we should kill the Australians. How could you possibly support radical Candace Owens? Well, of course, the kids didn't even click through the article. They just read the headline. They saw the trend on Twitter. They clicked the trend on...
What do you mean? Was she really mad? Look at her.
On Twitter, and they saw it, and they now know who Candace Owens is because they couldn't be bothered to actually watch the monologue, which is very hard-hitting, so hard-hitting that the actually educated people, right, the people who actually are fearful of an awakening,
coping, shitting your pants,
per se, right, they said, this is a very powerful monologue. We need to make sure nobody pursues this monologue.
What?
And so we need to get out in front of the monologue and we need to tell a lie that is bigger than the truth that exists in the monologue. That is happening right now. I am trending right now over something that I said. Of course I said it. I said, when do we invade Australia?
Fucking Jesus Christ, dude. Dude, she is shitting and farting everywhere. She's having a bad time. She's not happy about it. And so she went on her show and made more content about that. She made more of it. So here's Candace Owens seething even more about it. Who is Candace? Imagine speaking in the third person about that. Oh, they don't even know who actual Jake is. They don't know. They don't know who he is. The man he is and what he believes in before they spread their lies. What kind of fucking dumbass would say something like that? Anyway, so this is Candace Owens being big mad about the thing that we memed on her, and she got big mad.
Who live in Australia, they're all wonderful people. Despite the fact that we do not always agree on politics, they're kind of, the old school type. They don't really let politics get in the way of their meaningful relationships. Well, recently he received a message from one of these family members, and she was expressing how the mental state of everyone around her is in steep decline. She shared with him a message that she had received from a friend of hers, a woman who lives in Queensland, and the message is genuinely shocking. I was shocked reading this message, and I decided that for this episode...
As an Australian living in Australia, I found the whole video a joke. We never... had to QR toilets. Yeah, she's just wackadoo, dude. A wackadoo.
I'm just going to read it to you verbatim. So just to get you guys ready, it's a list of the COVID rules that Australian citizens are being made to follow. And as I read this, I actually want you to close your eyes and to imagine that this was your life. And to imagine what your mental state would be like if you were being made to abide by these rules.
I have a question about the set that Candace Owens is on. Why did they give her a mic that makes her sound like she's doing this from a bathroom? Like, it's so tinny. Like, get a fucking shotgun mic, get a mixer. You have the budget? Come on.
Ready? First and foremost, there are a limited number of people allowed in your household. And at various times, she writes, we are told we are allowed no visitors. Funerals have to be kept between 5 and 10 people. Must scan a QR code to go everywhere, literally everywhere, including toilets.
Is that a thing? Any Australian experience QR code for toilet? I know Australian said, you talk about New Zealand? I don't know. We all accepted the lockdown restrictions needed to happen. We weren't vaccinated until recently. Exactly. The QR code is for shops, just for shops. Like, it's just wild stuff, man. And I think, contact tracing. Right, exactly. I think the way that Australia handles it is strict, but how many deaths has Australia had from COVID? It's not been a lot. So they're doing a pretty okay job. I mean, it takes what it takes, man. If America had simply done 3 very strict weeks, we'd have very little problem like we do now. But that's not how it went, because she got mad about wearing a mask or some shit.
There are curfews, and there are helicopters patrolling the skies to ensure that everyone is abiding by the curfews. You are not allowed to go past 5 kilometers from your home. Just to put that in perspective, that's about 3 miles. A little over 3 miles from your home, you're not allowed to travel past. You're not allowed to sit down at parks.
Feel free to if any of this sounds a little bit weird, because I don't live in Australia, but there are some Australians in chat. Have you been able to go more than 3 kilometers from your home recently? That'd be interesting.
Beaches and public spaces. You're not allowed to drink or eat while standing up anywhere. You must sit down to drink or eat everywhere. No dancing anywhere. Only 1 person per household is allowed to go shopping for essentials.
No dancing anywhere. Can't dance in your home. Can't dance in your yard. Can't go dancing. No, this is Footloose. It's Footloose. It's John Lithgow is in charge of Australia. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows it.
Only essential shopping is allowed. And at times, ready? The Defense Force and police have checked what people are shopping for. Imagine that. What are you buying today? That's happening.
I can't dance because I don't think it's because I'm on Aussie. The hell is she wearing? That's her poofies. She likes them.
Dog parks, playgrounds, bike parks, beaches are closed and barricaded. Mask wearing is required when outside, and even if you are alone. And at one point in Queensland, it was also required when in your car alone.
This is interesting. I was just about to say that, and I'm glad you did. Terry marked. Yeah, this is for like hardcore lockdown that happens when there's like breakouts or whatever. This isn't like just living in Australia the last 2 years. You know what I mean? Like, it goes on and off, and this is only like for bad stuff, so that they can prevent and protect their families. Nobody like enjoys the lockdown, but it's something you got to do from time to time to prevent people from dying. Dancing in nightclubs is a thing here. We can stand again at bars now. Like, I'm not seeing. Maybe, like, definitely at times this occurs, but no beaches were barricaded. What are you talking about? They didn't have people with guns waiting for you to come onto the beach to shoot you dead? I don't know about that. Candace Owens makes it sound like, I mean, y'all are fucking in it's like Escape from New York with Snake Plissken, and we got to break you guys out.
Or mowing the front lawn. International borders are closed. No one is allowed to leave the country.
Isn't she for closed borders? Isn't that a thing she likes? Or does she only like being able to go to other countries but not people to come into it?
Small businesses are shut down while big businesses are allowed to operate.
Okay.
This next one to me it's insane. It's so crazy. Ready? Okay. Citizens are locked out of their home state.
Yeah, Sydney and Melbourne. I knew Melbourne was really bad. I know I didn't say that right for an Australian person listening, but Melbourne. I still said it wrong. But it was 5 kilometers only when Sydney and Melbourne were having severe numbers. Yeah.
Thousands of them are not allowed to return unless they get a vaccine in only home state. Thousands of them are not allowed to return unless they get a vaccine only after they go through a slow and restrictive exemption request process. Okay, so imagine you live in Tennessee, all right, you happen to be in Connecticut, and they say, you know what, you're not allowed to travel from state to state. You can't go back to your home state of Tennessee unless you get a vaccine. It's actually unimaginable. Not being able to go home because you have to be vaccinated. Not only that, you have to apply once you get the vaccine to be able to go
Only non-essential businesses shut down.
home. This is what is going on right now in Australia.
Look, man, if you don't want a vaccine, that's a thing you get to opt into. But, like, this is a great example of when we talk about manufactured consent. So if you think it's fucked up for you to be forced to get a vaccine to operate in the public, which, you know, you can communicate diseases to them, you should have a vaccine. If you think that's fucked up, why is it not fucked up that I need to be employed to survive? I don't see a difference in that, like, at all. Melbourne. No. I can't say no like you guys either. Isn't Australia getting hit hard by the current wave? It's definitely better than we are, but, you know, we'll see how long that lasts. Acid burns. Nice phone, dude. So, the only thing I can think of is, like, some people medically can't get the vaccine, and I want to make sure they get full rights. Yeah, I don't know. This wouldn't fly in America at any point, obviously. This policy is very restrictive for an American. But, I mean, they're an island nation that is, like ocean locked away from, like, the outside world if they so choose. They have a much easier way of, like, addressing COVID and trying to make it not go out of control than we do. Like... I don't know. If I'm an island in the middle of, like, there's a reason that Madagascar is like that one place in was it that disease game? What's the fucking disease game, guys? Pandemic? What's it called? I forget what it's called. Biohazard? I don't even remember, dude. That sort of is like used to be a mobile game, but it's on Steam and stuff. Pandemic? Plague Inc. That's the one. Yeah. They're just doing their Madagascar strat, dude. Seems fine. Pandemic 2, or maybe Pandemic 2 as well.
I genuinely do not know what to say to this, except this.
Okay.
For the last...
I don't know what to say to this, except for the following. So you do know what to say.
20 years, the United States has spent trillions of dollars overseas in Afghanistan fighting a war, which we lost, by the way.
Okay. All right.
We were told that the war was necessary anyway. It was necessary. The slaughtering of American sons and daughters on foreign soil because we were fighting a noble cause.
This is a bold take. You can see where she's going with this. This is the new Afghanistan. Most people were mostly against the war in Iraq and then staying in Afghanistan. But then, you know, you had to vote for George Bush. So whatever, you know, that's a Republican thing. That's the Republicans. That's their fault. And conservatives in general, it's their fault. And they exacerbated it. And then, of course, you know, you had hawkish libs and stuff. Barack Obama and stuff wanted to stick around a little bit. There was some money to be made there. And also it was probably a little bit more complex at that point. But because he only got into office in 2008, right? People were still sort of on the fence about that. But the pandemic has killed more people. Already. It's killed more people. I don't think this is like saying like the Spanish flu is no problem, polio is fine. I'm not gonna get in my iron lung. I'm gonna walk this polio off. It's like, why? Why are you like this? Why can't you just do the right thing, man? It seems pretty easy. To just be like, yeah, diseases are bad. We should, as Americans, my patriotic duty is to make sure no American dies from the disease. And yet, I guess it's our WMD.
To spread democracy in a tyrannical land, to free an oppressed people. So I'm going to ask those same lecturing politicians and
Poser
media
face, thanks
members
for
a
the prime.
question now. When do we deploy troops to Australia? When do we invade Australia and free an oppressed people who are suffering under a totalitarian regime? When do we spend trillions of dollars to spread democracy in Australia? Australia currently, make no mistake, is a tyrannical police state. Its citizens are quite literally being imprisoned against their will. So when do we deploy?
Man. See how it was a joke, chat? big funny haha jokes. Dude, she thought she had such a fucking banger there, dude. She was like, dude, I'm going to make this big point. Blah! And I'm going to drop it on them, and they're going to be like, wow, Candace Owens is... What a powerful statement, Candace.
Of course, I asked that in jest because we all know the real answer. What's happening in Australia under the guise of a virus, which, by the way, as of August 7, 2021, experts estimate the overall recovery rate.
What's the joke? Well, she said it in jest because she knew the answer. She knew that we're not actually going to do that, which implies if there was a possibility that we would police the world in that way, that she'd be for it. Because the jest was, yeah, but that'll never happen. You know what I mean? Weird.
Is between 97% and 99.75%. What's actually happening under the guise of this virus is federal overreach, tyranny, totalitarianism, the kind that gives birth to evil dictatorships and human atrocities.
Does she think that there's going to be dictatorships in Australia? Because those motherfuckers can't decide on a prime minister for 3 minutes. Y'all are the most fickle. Like, look, we Americans, okay? We'll stick with a dude for 8 years for kind of no fucking reason, just because we stuck with him last time. You guys, 2 weeks, get the fuck out of here, mate. Oi. Drongo? This is the end of my Australian. Like, we're not allowed to dance. Yeah, it's just pretty weird. I love that she thinks that this is like my big serious Candace Owens moment. I'm going to pull my... Look at how fucking dead serious she is, dude. Can you imagine taking yourself this goddamn seriously at all times? Like this severe, just regularly. Your life is just in constant, like, serious, like, I'm going to blow my gasket at any moment. Wild stuff. It's like... I don't know. These people seem fucking miserable, bro.
We are watching a replay of the early ambitions of Joseph Stalin, Adolf Hitler, Fidel Castro, Hugo Chavez.
She's just naming people. By the way, anytime you see... Here, check this out. Anytime you see someone with a big fat ass, just send them this picture. Thick.
That is what is hiding beneath the guise of this fictitious, perpetual need to slow the spread. We all know some more truths. That what's happening in Australia was meant to happen here in America.
What? Is that what? What's happening in Australia? Is there like a cabal of like Australian warlords being like, "Boy, mate, we're gonna take over America"? I'm so bad at an Australian accent. It's so specific. I can't do it. But you know, however you guys talk, but just like plotting. Yes, soon we will lock down America. Like what?
This current totalitarian administration is fighting tooth and nail to trample state rights and federalize America. And if it were not for Republican governors standing in the way, we would be similarly stripped right now of our most basic of individual freedoms.
Dude, this is the same person that thinks that Michigan was just like a hellhole that was like locked down during the initial big wave with COVID when everything shut down. Dude, I went on a fucking vacation during that time. It was beautiful. It was great. Went up to our favorite spot. Everyone was wearing masks. It was very calm. They were like, hey, you wear a mask, you can come on in here. And we're like, cool, I'll wear a mask. And then we used hand sanitizer regularly, and we took care of ourselves, and we were just careful, and we gave people space. And I did everything I would normally do with a mask and not right up on someone's nuts whenever I'm near in public. You know what I mean? Like, so weird. Thank God for DeSantis. Oh, DeSantis. Quite literally adopting the mannerisms of his boy. Like, what a weird guy.
Can anybody, by the way, explain to me
Yes.
in simple sentences why
Sure.
the Australian government is any better or any nobler than the Taliban?
What? Well, the lack of religious extremism, death penalties, and jihad help.
Her ramble was just a gorilla.
Those are just the top 3 that popped off my head. I'm sure there's more than that. Azan, thanks for following.
Both groups believe that they have a right to oppress and a right to imprison people for their own good.
That's literally what the American government does as well. What are you talking about? We're the most incarcerated country on the planet. How can you make this argument and be like, yeah, but America's fine? Like, what? We have the most incarcerations per capita on the planet. Not even close. Like, what?
Are Western governments any better anymore? I can honestly say
Better than the Taliban?
Her ramble was just a gorilla.
I will go on record to say that all Western governments are preferable to being ruled by the Taliban. I'll say it. I know I might might lose some points here because it's a hot take, but yeah, the Taliban's worse. Yeah. August McKenzie, thanks for following.
that never did I ever think that I would live to see a world war. But we're here.
What? What do you mean? What? What's the war? Who's doing when you let you what do you think Afghanistan and Iraq was? Like this is like kind of a world war. We've been fighting a kind of a proxy war through that region for a long time. Like, but you know, it's just not the same as it used to be. Where's the world war that's happening? Candace thinks this is her I have a dream speech or something. Dude, she's really like, yeah, I'm nailing this shit. And everyone's like, this was ass. Because you could see, we could watch it again. The video we showed at the beginning of this where she's big mad about it. She's like, I can't believe people would not know who Candace Owens is and bury the lead by not understanding what Candace Owens' very powerful statement was. Like, she really thinks she's crushing this shit. It's great. They would flog you for having your hair uncovered. Yeah, wait, she's like mad that you can't dance, but she can't be a woman. Like, she literally just can't be a fucking woman under the Taliban rule. Like, I don't understand. Like, she can't be like this at all. Wild stuff.
We are in the midst of an ideological and psychological global war. And it is a war
Are we?
that is being waged by governments all over the world, from here all the way to Australia.
Wow. Even Australia. Even all the way to Australia. It's geographically far, so wow, I can't believe our culture war went to little old Australia. Like, what a weird thing to say. Do you know they're people? Like, oh, the culture war. It's pretty gross that she directly benefits monetarily from stoking this kind of behavior. Really weird.
Against the very citizens that they govern. So to that end, I say, welcome to World War III.
Wow. What a stinger, man. Holy shit. Damn. Whoa, dude. We're headed to World War III, chat. The culture war. Dude, the quartering is going to command his battalion of people who have had dinner with his wife. Special attack will be Piss Bucket. Dude, Sargon and Milk Boy will be the last. Like, I'm imagining Sargon here. Well, he can come speak for himself. I imagine Sargon, like going into the nearest fish and chip shop and then like putting William Wallace paint on his face. Although he wouldn't do that because William Wallace is, you know, he was, you know, not necessarily pro UK. Anyway, thanks for following, Mike. But he would be like, you can't take our freedoms, and everyone's like, we shut the fuck up, Carl. We're trying to watch the footy match. I'm not gonna do that in an English accent, but that's what they would say. They'd be like, we're gonna watch the footy. Where's he from? I don't even know. We're gonna watch fucking Manchester City. I don't know. All the stuff. Wherever he's from. Sir Yogi says the Sydney restrictions were released a couple weeks back, and where I live, someone got COVID from a person from Sydney who built their hot house. It's only been 2 weeks. We have not had nobly a couple of COVID cases here, other than when people from Sydney have been released. But she would hate how much that proves lockdowns were. Yeah, I don't know. Lockdowns are definitely good for that. Carl of Swindon, the Swindon FC, is that what it's called? Swindon. Football. Swindon football. Swindon Town FC. They are 6th in Football League 2. Oh no. Fancy Swindon Town. In the 78th minute, Jack Payne made 1 penalty kick. Wow. 1-3. That sucks. That sucks. What a bummer. Well, Swindon FC. Swindon Town FC, I'm sorry. There we go. Anyway, so Candace Owens is melodramatic, and she is not. You could physically drop as many mics as you want, Candace, but I really don't think just pretending to be some sort of like badass orator is what it takes. What a weird way to finish your thoughts. I say we're headed to World War III. All right, dude. Cool. All right, love your faces. Riling up people over American totalitarianism. Dude, every time. It's so weird. Totalitarianism, when it arises in the U.S., is always at the hands of the Conservative Party. Always. It's just so weird to, like, pretend otherwise.